Well, absolutely a very important briefing post-budget, and she clarified, FM has clarified a host of issues, and of course, she also addresses the elephant in the room, which is STT hike. The most talk about, key takeaway from the budget. And on that, as you rightly mentioned, she said that, the government has only touched upon future and options and not across the segment. So that's one. And the kind of complaint she was receiving from parents about how children are getting involved in FNO trading and how, the 90% people actually lost money in FNO. So these are the concern actually she was highlighting, giving the reasoning behind hiking the FNO, STT on FNO. Then moving on to subject like disinvestment again, disinvestment exercise has been taken by government. In fact, we have seen approvals from cabinet on some of the proceeds, important proceeds like IDBI Bank, which is, in progress. And she talked about on those aspects, and she said that the pace and direction of disinvestment will set the tone of revenue generation. And she will certainly look at more on the disinvestment as and also asset monetization, and looking at more public float by central public enterprises. So that's important one coming in at a time when there are a lot of chatter around, government changing stance on the privatization. Then she also spoke on the custom duty overhaul, because all those changes in the rates on host of item, duty exemption being given to, textile, leather, etc., and also to nuclear power project. The talks have been that it's been given to have greater access to US market. On that, she said that the decision has no influence, on the US steep tariff. And in fact, this has been in work for past 2 years. On gold and silver, she clearly said that it's the gold volatility is due to the global uncertainties, and people are, not kind of trusting on one currency. And in fact, all globally, central banks are investing into gold and silver, and the consolidation part, because as we have seen, the kind of fiscal consolidation path has been where she tries to be on course. 4.5% is what the target, and she managed below that, which is 4.4% for the current financial year. She said that it's moving in a right direction. And in fact, on the expenditure tightening, this time it's kept at 53 lakh odd crore, 6% hike, which is a slightly unusual, because every year expenditure target is always raised by at least 10%. So this was somewhere a constraint, but on that she said that it's not been compressed. So that's also important clarification on the fiscal consolidation path as well as the expenditure. Now I'm tossing to my colleague Rishabh. He is going to tell you more on other issues as well, rupee as well as the IBC amendments. Rishabh.
Absolutely, Shrimi, what we picked up on the rupee from the finance minister was that she acknowledged that it's been a concern, and that the finance ministry and the RBI are in constant touch for in terms of monitoring the levels of the rupee. So an important sort of, I think the first time she's speaking post-budget on rupee levels. What we also saw was banking. I think that was a major feature in the budget, and what she said on the roadmap for banking was that banks are at a all-time sort of high in terms of quality assets. That needs to not be left there and continued. So that's why there's a high-level committee that's been set up, and they will sort of look into bank consolidation as well. Very important clarification that. On buyback taxation, the FM was very clear that it is the minority shareholders that needed justice, and that's what they've sought to do with this particular regulation. On the IBC, again, the select committee report on the IBC amendments has been reviewed, and the hope is that it will be moved in the second half of this current ongoing budget session. So another very interesting thing to look forward to. This is the second half would actually be around the 19th. Then there's also, she was asked whether, given the fact that there's so many high-level committees that the government wants to start off, is that a question on the confidence levels within the government? To that, she said no. It has nothing to do with the sort of levels of confidence within the government on how it is functioning, and any and all these policy decisions are taken very much basis stakeholder consultation, and this is a part of that process. Lastly, she also said on the new financial instruments for asset monetization, very interestingly, she mentioned REITs and InvITs. She said that these are tried and tested methods, and they will continue to bank on these. India's sovereign fund, NIIF, has also backed REITs and InvITs into believing that these are solid investment methods that even foreign investors trust in. So an important set of clarifications and a lot of new points coming in from the finance minister post-budget, and we'll continue tracking as we keep sort of unlocking more and more from this budget.
Much, Shrimi and Rishabh, for giving us those highlights from Finance Minister's briefing on many aspects such as STT tax, F&O trading, buyback taxation, and a lot more. So much needed clarity on that front. But